Morning all my blue collar workers, all my YouTubers. What's going on out there? It's me. I just been working these 510s, getting this little bit of money. I think we got a couple months. We're gonna be working 510s, still hitting the 212s on the weekends. So I'm getting some good hours in right now, stacking this money up. I just figured I got a couple things actually I've been thinking about. So I really been thinking about some different content, not different necessarily, but there's some content I've been thinking about making. Been thinking about doing like maybe some do like some interviews with maybe like some foremen, some journeymen, some different year apprentices. Just something to try to give a little bit different perspective than just my perspective. So that basically, I mean, the moral of it is try to help everybody out there, help you guys to kind of see what it is, make an informed decision on if it's something that sounds interesting to you or not. The only one hang up why I haven't done it yet, because I've been thinking about it for a while. The only reason why I haven't done it yet is just because it's a really small channel. Like, I got like 600 some subscribers. Like, we growing, we doing all right. But in order for me to make it to where I can approach somebody else and be like, hey, look, we do this interview. I want to have a little bit bigger base so that it looks official and not just like, yeah, I got a couple people following me. I appreciate all y'all. Whatever you can do, help me grow. Like, subscribe. One thing I really do appreciate is that most people that watch me, follow me, like I get a lot of people comment. I appreciate that. Like anything I can say or do to try to help you guys, or if you guys even comment on each other's comments, you know what I mean? If anybody got any other input, this isn't just about me. Like, this is about trying to show there's a way to be successful in the trades. As a blue collar worker, you can do things that I think a lot of people don't realize. With that being said, right now in the news, they've been talking a lot about the strike, the dock worker strike. And it's crazy. Like, I really don't get into politics. There's a couple of reasons why. I have my own political views. There's a couple of reasons why I don't bring it up on the channel, just because I feel like it's super divisive. Like, people ain't gonna agree. Like, I already know people ain't gonna agree with me. There gonna be some that agree, some that don't agree. Number two, I heard a lot about how they be shadow banning channels and whatever if you have certain viewpoints. So I try to just kind of keep that to myself. But as far as what I've been seeing and hearing in the news about the dock worker strike, it's like, man, it goes negative real quick. Like, you see people will be talking like they pro-union this, pro-union that, but as soon as the strike come up, all of a sudden they really be trying to make the unions look bad. Sometimes unions make ourselves look bad, but let me just give you kind of an outline, my understanding of strikes, why they happen, and the purpose of them. So when you have collective bargaining, when you're bargaining for a contract as a union, you're bargaining against the contractors to try to get something more for your members. So if we're trying to get more pay, if we feel like the cost of living is going up, or the amount of work is going up, and we're doing a lot more work, we want to get something more for our members. Like, everybody want to raise, you know what I mean? And I know people get caught up a lot in like how much the raise sounds like, but a lot of times what's negotiated in contracts for raises, it's not just like you get an immediate raise of whatever they're talking about. It's usually over a few year period. Like, I believe the dock workers, they was talking about like a 6-year period they wanted to go up over. So if they say something like, it sounds crazy, like a 70% increase. That's not what they mean. Like, tomorrow they're going to get a 70% increase. And they talking about over 6 years they want to be able to get progressive raises. So I think a lot of people that are non-union don't understand that. Also, it's not that, like, people try to turn like, oh, they're holding the nation hostage. I've heard some news media outlets say some things like that. It ain't about that. It's about, now, say, for instance, if you're not in a union job and you go into your boss and you want a raise, are you going to go ask for a raise when there ain't no work and they're letting people go? You ain't going to go ask for a raise, because right then you can see your employer is struggling. They're struggling to maintain work. On the other hand, if they ain't barely got nobody coming to work and they got all kinds of work and they can't even fill the positions, that would be a good time to ask for a raise, because your value is going to be higher, because obviously they don't have the workers. They got more work than they can do. If you're a steady employee, you're bringing profit to them, so that'd be the time to ask for a raise. A lot of times that's how it happens with union strikes, is that they'll be asking for a raise, and the most effective time to ask for a raise or to go on strike is when it's going to make the most amount of impact. So it happened with the railroad workers strike too. Like, when there was a lot of stuff going on, that was a good time for them to strike, because it's going to get them a better chance of being successful in their negotiations. They're not going to get everything that they asked for, but if they want to get anything at all, like, let's face facts, like, employers don't want to pay people more money if they don't have to. So sometimes you got to kind of put them in a little bit of an armbar and tell them, like, look, this is what we need, and it's going to hurt a little bit if you can't do it for us. Because at the end of the day, like, it's all about blue collar workers. Like, it's not people getting millions of dollars being union workers. That's not what it's about. It's not about getting rich, but it's about having a fair wage and something that people can live comfortably off of and not have to struggle. Like, if you're just gonna work for $15 an hour, what's the point of being in a union? What's the point of anything if you can barely even make it? You know what I mean? Then you're not bringing any benefits to the table. So, especially, like I've said it before, I'm not a 1,000% pro union everything. I don't think everything should be unionized. There's a time and a place for everything. But as far as trade unions, I believe that we're in a sweet spot. Like, we train our people to a high set of standards. And the people that don't like that and don't like unions, like, the majority of the time, they either, number one, they jealous because we're making good money, or number two, they just get propaganda fed and they don't understand the morals behind it. Like, everybody can't start a business and go do it. Like, that's not economical, number one, and that's just not everybody's forte. Like, some people just want to work, man. They don't want to do all the behind the scenes stuff of owning and running the company. So to have the training to be able to be a professional and build some stuff, like, it's crazy. Some of the stuff I do out here, like, I'm learning a lot. I'm a third year. I feel like I'm a little bit ahead in what I actually have learned and what I can do based on how long I've been doing it. But man, I'm always blown away sometimes by some of the journeymen or foremen, like, the things that they know when we be doing something, and it's easy. Like, if you have a question, to go bounce a question off and they'll have it like that. And it's like, dang, you just got all this knowledge just floating around your head. Like, it's hard to know, but at the same time, like, the more you do it, the more that a lot of that stuff comes. Like, there's things I've learned that I go to do something and it's like, dang, I know how to do it like this. So it comes. But yeah, I don't know, man. This is kind of a little daily rant. I ain't really been making as many videos. I've been just kind of busy working. I'm getting tired, man. Trying not to get worn out working all these days, but I think I took Sunday off from the weekend job. Go do some little haunted hayride or something. Take a little day off and get a little bit of rest, and then back at it. I usually try to, I got lucky with my weekend job because I told them when I started that I had a union job during the week, and if I ever have an opportunity to work on the weekends, I won't be in, because I'll make way more money on the weekend working a union job. So they tend to be the one that takes the days. But it's luckily for me, they only have me and one other guy's aluminum welder, so they can't really get rid of me. They need me, so I put in enough work that I'm doing all right. I ain't hurting them by not going in. But sometimes you just need to take them days and get a little bit of rest and relaxation, and get that mental health right. So that's my plan. But yeah, man, don't let the news fool you, man. When you see things about, like, union strikes, it's not about the things that they try to say. Like, they really be trying to portray unions in a bad light. And at the end of the day, most people that's in the union is just like you, man. They just trying to make the most amount of money they can make and go home, take care of their family. So it's not about trying to get rich or being attached to the mob, or it's not none of that. They just don't like the fact that people have the voice to speak up against the employers and say, look, this is what we feel that we deserve, and this is what we're bringing to the table and why we deserve it. So just have an open mind, man. And if anybody out there, I'm advocating it all the time, man. Get into the trades. This is where it's at. You're gonna get your benefits. You're gonna get a pension. You're gonna be able to live above the standard that you would if you didn't. Like, it's and then you're gonna learn things. Like, I'm not saying every union is perfect. I'm not saying every union is great, but it's definitely better than any job I ever had. So, pipe fitter for life for me. Y'all have a good day.